Folks, welcome back. This morning we covered a wide range of territory in the opening session. As you know, we set the scene, we discussed leadership in various contexts, we discussed the digital economy in various contexts, and we talked about how the potential and the reality may sometimes be in conflict and not necessarily being maximized or optimized. So this afternoon we're going to start off by returning to the leadership theme. Just before the lunch break, we talked a lot about digital. We talked about how the new Generation Z are behaving in the workplace. We talked about how work-life balance is being impacted. We talked about how there's a lack of trust, a growing lack of trust in the ethics and the behaviors of the professions that we used to hold as being our thought leaders and ethical leaders. There we go. So this afternoon we're going to return to the theme of leadership. And this is an interesting case study we're going to present to you because this is leadership in a new context. We heard earlier on this morning from the president of Engro about how they are now looking at innovating and expanding their businesses according to different principles. And here's one very good example of that. Our next speaker is with the Sindh Engro coal mining company. And they are setting up their new operation with regards to a different set of benchmarks and a different set of standards. ROI, the return to investors, and the focus on shareholders is something that they have decided to re-examine and reframe. And I'm going to ask for an explanation of that and details of that address. Shamsuddin Shaikh is a CEO of Sindh Engro Coal Mining Company, and he's going to explain to us why he believes, and Sindh and Engro believes, that there are a greater number of stakeholders in modern business than perhaps there used to be, and leadership is now taking on different dimensions. Please join us on the stage.
Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon. Let me just take a minute or two and introduce myself. I represent Sindh Engro Coal Mining Company and Engro Power Gen Thar Limited. What we are doing a project at Thar. Thar, as you know, it's about 350 kilometers from this place, a desert. And whenever you do a Google on Thar, you will find out the first 3 hits you would get is how many kids died over there in the last few days, how many females died during giving birth to a baby, and you would also find out that there are 175 billion tons of coal over there. So these are the 3 top hits that you would get once you do a Google on Thar. In 2016, April 2016, after a struggle of 7-8 years, we went through financial close of Pakistan's biggest public-private partnership, a $2 billion public-private partnership. And when we started this project, one of the ideas was that to make it into an inclusive project. And what I mean by inclusive project will be described in my presentation. But before I do that, I would like to run a video, which is every month as we complete our project, we make a small video. It's just a 5-minute video. Please see the video, and then I'll go through the presentation.
La 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 la, oh miya, di bhala. La 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 miya wo wo la la wo di latif chal sindhdi abad ho jai.
न सिर्फ इस प्रोजेक्ट का फ़ायदा पाकिस्तान को होगा बल्कि थर के लोगों को भी बेहद फ़ायदा होगा और इंशाल्लाह उम्मीद करते हैं कि 2019 में हम इस प्रोजेक्ट को कंप्लीट करेंगे 4 मंथ्स अहेड ऑफ स्केड्यूल और इसके बाद फिर फ्यूचर एक्सपेंशंस के भी बहुत प्लान है हमारे। हमने माइन को डबल करना है और फिर कैपेसिटी और बढ़ानी है जिससे कोयले की कीमत और कम होती जाएगी और उसका तमाम फ़ायदा जो है वो कंज्यूमर को पास ऑन किया जाएगा।
तो मैं समझता हूँ कि ये जो कोल की हम माइनिंग कर रहे हैं और कोल का प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हैं ये ना सिर्फ हमको रेस्क्यू करेगा इन तमाम मसाइल से जो एनर्जी के हैं बल्कि ये हमारे मुल्क के लिए गेम चेंजर साबित होगा और इंशाल्लाह आप लोग देखेंगे कि सारे मसले मसाइल जो पावर से रिलेटेड हैं वो हम हल करने में कामयाब हो जाते हैं।
थर कोल ब्लॉक 2 का प्रोजेक्ट पाकिस्तान के लिए एक इंतहाई अहम प्रोजेक्ट है। ये प्रोजेक्ट पाकिस्तान का सबसे बड़ा पब्लिक प्राइवेट पार्टनरशिप प्रोजेक्ट है और सीपेक का पहला प्रोजेक्ट है इस साइज़ और इस मैग्नीट्यूड का जिसने फाइनेंशियल क्लोज 2016 अप्रैल में अचीव किया।
हमारा विजन ये है कि ये जो थर का कोयला है न सिर्फ पाकिस्तान के गांव देहात और गलियों को रोशन करे बल्कि थर के लोगों की जिंदगियों में भी उजाले ले आए। हमारा विजन ये है कि थर के अंदर कोई एक भी फर्द प्रोजेक्ट का इफेक्टिव न कहलाए, थर के लोग प्रोजेक्ट के बेनिफिशियरी कहलाए। थर फाउंडेशन थर के लोगों की जिंदगियों को बदलने के मिशन पे काम कर रहा है।
हमने अपने प्रोजेक्ट को जो कॉस्ट हमने अप्रूव करवाई थी उससे कम में कर रहे हैं और इंशाल्लाह हम अपना प्रोजेक्ट जो कि हमें 42 महीने के लिए दिया गया था 38 या 38 से भी कम में कर उसी कॉस्ट में करके दिखाएंगे या उस कॉस्ट से कम में करके दिखाएंगे जो हमारे लिए अप्रूव की गई थी। थर से न फ़कत पाकिस्तान रोशन होगा, पाकिस्तान का सुनहरी मुस्तकबिल आएगा, लेकिन उसके साथ साथ थर भी डेवलप होगा। Thank you, Ji. I'll now go through the presentation. We have do not have too much time, so I'll just explain what we are doing over there. Normally, as you see, the companies, whenever they do these type of work, they do it once they start making the money. Once you start making a profit, you spend 1% or 2% or 3% before into these things. But when this project was envisaged with government of Sindh and lots of private sector companies, and you can see the number of companies that have worked on this. So it's Thal, it's Engro, it's Hupco, Habib Bank, CMEC, and Liberty. These are the 8 companies that are working together with government of Sindh to make this project work. So I'll just explain what this project is. Okay, so why Thar project? It's better that I read it from here because it's difficult to read from there. Obviously, we have energy problem in Pakistan. We have short of electricity, and the other problem that we have is that we have got a very expensive electricity. And for every electricity that we have to spend lots of dollars to get that. This project is going to help in doing that. It's a cheap electricity, and it's indigenous electricity, and it's going to use the fuel that's available with us. Where is Thar? Thar is about 6 hours from here. If you go towards east, go towards India, then that's where Thar is, and you already saw Thar. This is the promise of Thar. If you look at this slide, you can see the top graph gives you price of coal for the imported one. If you are doing the imported coal power plants, which government is doing lots of them, this is the top line. And once we reach 1320 megawatts within a year's time, our price would come down, and our price would be less than half of that of the national electricity. And once we reach the optimum mark, which inshallah we should reach in 5 years' time, about 3,900 megawatts, we will reach about 5 and 5.5 cents. These are the companies we already talked about. This is our journey. It took us, doing a project in Pakistan is never easy. It took us 8 years and billions of rupees even before the financial close in order to take us to financial close. We have done 18 months of this project, 4 months ahead of schedule. 15 million man-hours, safe man-hours have been done. 50% of the project has been completed, and 77% of the employees are local Tharis. This is the topic that I wanted to talk to you about, and I would just take 2 parts of it. One is especially the community and the society part of it. I would just like to explain what we are doing on that. You know, when you do a project like this, which is a huge project by any means, a $2 billion project, we have already purchased about 22,000 acres of land. And when you buy 22,000 acres of land, then it also means that you would displace lots of people, and people will become affectee of the project. And once we started looking at it from the very day one, we decided that we will not call any of our project affectee, a person who's being affected by the project. We will always call them a project beneficiary. So how we are making them beneficiary? The first thing that we are doing, that anybody displaced from his house is being given an absolutely wonderful a new house in a new place about 6 to 7 kilometers from there, and excellent housing. Without any doubt, probably the best model village of Pakistan is being constructed over there, and everybody whoever gets affected gets a house. If you have got more than one couple, like a father living with 2 or 3 married kids, then everybody gets a different house. Each house costs us 4.5 million rupees versus just in a chora, as people live in Thar, in a one-room chora, wooden hut. Everybody gets a house, which probably I'll show, or you saw it in the presentation also, in the video also. So you get that, then you get an employment opportunity, not only male, but also female. And incidentally, we are doing a $2 billion project, We did not get that much publicity, but just doing a 10 million rupees project that we are doing, making our females dump drivers, that got attention, worldwide attention. Not only that, but the first thing that is being done in Pakistan, which has never been done and not been done in many places in the world, is that each of the person who gets affected by the project is being made a shareholder of the company. So if you are there, you are being affected, you get a house, you get employment, your kids get good education, your family gets good medical coverage, and on top of it, the best of all, you become a shareholder of the company. So all these things put together, we call them that you are not a project affectee, but you are a project beneficiary. And all this is being done out of the project cost. It's not being done when we are going to make money and we are going to do things and stuff like that, and we can show the promises and stuff like that, but it is being done even before the project has been completed. But this is not enough. This is the people who are directly affected by our project. What are we doing for the people who are, other than that, who are the general community at large? For that, we have formed a Thar Foundation. Thar Parker, as you know, is the poorest district of Sindh. Not only its poorest district of Sindh, other than 1 or 2 districts in Balochistan, it is probably the poorest district of all Pakistan. Other than Chaghi in Balochistan, Thar Parker is the poorest. 80% indebtedness, so obviously highest. 24th out of 24 for health coverage in Sindh. So it is really, really, I don't know how many of you have seen Thar, but if you really go over there, you would really find that, if you really want to define what a poor person is, how poors really live, if you want to sit in a time machine and go, back in time for 400 years, just take 5 years drive to Thar, and you would find that how people live over there and how people used to live 300-400 years back over here, probably in Karachi, people live like that in Thar. So, and infant mortality and everything that you see, any human development indexes, if you see for Thar, they are really, really in a bad shape. Poorest of poor. So obviously, when you do a project, it is just not possible that you go and do a huge project. Look at what we did in Sui. We went there, we got so much gas over there, the entire country energized because of the gas that was coming out of Sui, and people of Sui got nothing. What happened after that? Once you did not give those guys the right, what happened? That it became very, very difficult, and it has become so difficult that we cannot go and find any natural resources in Balochistan, though we know that it is full of natural resources, gas, oil, hydrocarbons, and minerals, but we are not able to go there because we did not give those the guys right over there. But this, when we went to Thar, it was decided by the sponsors that when we go to Thar, we are not going to repeat the Sui story, we are going to go and make it different. So what is our vision? It has been established by the companies engaged in Thar Coal project together with Government of Sindh for betterment of principal stakeholders of Thar Coal, that is people of Thar Parker. So we do not recognize people of Karachi, we do not recognize people of Lahore, we do not recognize that the people who are going to use that electricity, they are the principal stakeholders. The principal stakeholders of Thar project are the people of Thar. They are the owners of Thar, owners of that natural resource. उनके घर से, उनके पैरों के नीचे से ही कोयला निकला था. यकीन जानिए आप में से किसी के घर के नीचे से कोयला नहीं निकला, उनके घर से निकला. और till the time we do not support those guys, till the time we do not help those guys, do not raise their standards of living, I know we certainly believe that it will not be possible for us to bring electricity from there, or Pakistan will prosper from the electricity that's going to come from Thar, till the time people of Thar themselves are not happy with it. This is what we have done. We have formed Thar Foundation, under which we have got health, education, social livelihood opportunities, infrastructure, social preservation, and disaster management. And we work with a number of companies. Many of the companies are also over here today, that we work with specialized companies to help us do these projects, because we do realize that we are an industrial concern, we are a mining and a power company. We cannot run hospitals or we cannot run schools. So in healthcare, what we are doing over there, we started running a small hospital over there as we went there, and when we contacted Indus Hospital and we asked them to come come and help us run that hospital. And Indus Hospital said they are not willing to come and help us just run a small hospital. They will only come there if we are able to construct a 250-bed hospital. This is the condition that they put together with us. And alhamdulillah, we agreed to that. Without having a single penny in our pocket, we agreed to it. But today, I can very happily tell you that we have arranged the money, and inshallah, we are going to start construction, and the first phase will be completed in 2018. And inshallah, 2018 के बाद ये जो हमारी story होती है कि थर में इतने बच्चे मर गए, at least, you know, some of them would, at least we'll be able to, Allah ने रहम किया तो we'll be able to take care of some of them. Education, it's terrible, absolutely terrible. When you go there and you look at the education standards of Thar, it's absolutely, yes, there are schools. In Talka of Islam Court, there are probably like 400 to 500 schools, but you cannot even get primary kids who are educated enough to get employed. We as Engro are very stingy in employment. It becomes extremely difficult for us to go and hire people from Thar because the standards are so low. So we decided that we are going to go and inshallah take care of the education. We went to CM, and CM agreed to give us the entire Islam Court schools. And Islam Court schools means 30,000 schools. So it's not a small thing that we are planning to do. So enormous number of opportunities there. So we started with TCF schools. Last year we started with construction of 3 TCF schools, each TCF school, because the schools, the government schools over there are just like one bedroom, one classroom type of schools. But we said, no, if we are going to do the schools, kids need to have good place for them to move around and stuff like that. So we have started constructing schools with the TCF. Each school cost us about 170 million rupees. We are constructing 3 schools. We are constructing Amin Hashwani's CFC, Charter for Compassionate Pakistan. We are working with them. We are constructing primary schools. And inshallah, soon in 2019, when our project comes through, when we go through COD, we plan to have at least 10,000 kids in our system. Livelihood. We made a point that we are going to hire Tharis, irrespective whether they are educated, they are not educated, whatever will happen. We brought in Aman Tech, we brought in Hunar Foundation, we brought in the Descon Training Institute, and we started training those guys. And alhamdulillah, today, out of the entire workforce that is working with us, 77% of them are Tharis. So the entire company, including myself, 77% of the people working in, and no company in Pakistan can claim these type of numbers that we are doing. And everybody is trained. Everybody is being trained. So you get a stipend to come there, to work with Descon Training Institute, become a scaffolder, become a mason, become a steel fixer, and then come and work with us. So these are some of the numbers that we have done. Women empowerment. When we started looking at, we went there, we thought that the women were the most resilient over there. We were really impressed by the females over there, and we thought that we should give them some job which really, sort of resonates with their nature. We didn't want to bring them and make them, like a lot of companies would do, make them receptionists or, make them clerks in our office. We thought that we should give them the most difficult job that the men folk are doing over there. And we advertised for female dumper drivers. Everybody laughed at us. Everybody in Pakistan, everybody in Thar laughed at us. They said nobody's going to come over there. And today, alhamdulillah, there are many girls over there who are working over there with us as a dumper drivers. You cannot imagine. India does not have it. China does not have it. And in China, there are no mining rules that allow females to drive these dump trucks. And alhamdulillah, today, on 12th of September, Andosan is also here. He probably witnessed it over there. Many of you were there. CM Sindh went there to see that mine of ours because we had done 50% completion. And he sat with a female. He wanted to drive a vehicle, and a female driver was helping him, guiding him how to drive a dumper driver. Then the female was sitting, and CM was sitting at the back seat, the trainee seat, and they were driving the thing. And we were showing them that see how, in just 3 months' time, a female who was just sitting at home, now she has become a dumper driver, and she makes 35,000 rupees a month. Much more than the males that are making over there. So that's the women empowerment. Then we have got female engineers working over there, 30 female engineers. We have got many girls from Karachi also working over there, but 30 females. We are trying to find more and more girls who can help, who can work with us. And this is what I was saying that, after spending billions of dollars on the different projects, we did not got that much publicity that by hiring few females, you know, the entire world. This news that Reuters did it was published all over the world. India, US, all Europe, Germany, everywhere this news came in. This is the other thing that we are doing. Thar has got 3 aquifers. The bottom aquifer has got huge water, huge reservoir of water is there, and it has got like 4,000 ppm water. And when we started working over there, we talked to lots of people, lots of universities, and we thought that it would be possible for us to, you know, sort of bring that water out, give it to the people, and they can do the agriculture. So you can see all this agriculture. This does not seem like Thar, but this is Thar, where we are bringing the water from aquifers, and all these things are being done. So lots of people are working over there, and good livelihood is being done. Safe drinking water. Obviously, safe drinking water is very important over there. Government has put lots of RO plants. We are taking them over and ensuring that they keep on working. Culture preservation. Without any doubt, Thar's culture is probably the most significant part of that place that we need to work on. We are working on a number of things. We are taking over Naukote Fort, which is one of the best forts in Sindh, in Umarkot and Naukote. So we are taking Naukote Fort. We are promoting art and artisan, you know, Mai Dahi and Mai Bhagi, and these are all famous musicians of Tharparkar. We are taking care of them, and we have published, just gotten it printed, a coffee table book, absolutely book which we are going to launch hopefully in December, which has got all the pictures from ages, from Sindh Archaeological Company had archaeological whatever, it's a department of government of Sindh, which had huge treasure of pictures. We took all the pictures out and we printed them in a coffee book table. Disaster management, we have become the first responders over there, so God forbid anything happens in Thar, anywhere in Thar, the first call that it's not, you know, the fire brigade or the police or the local administration get the telephone call, we get the telephone call, so whether it is, whatever it is required, we try and do it for them. So this, in short, is, to us, in a country like ours, if you really want to do the project, this is the real leadership that you should really go and do it. That you'd go and involve the people over there. Just don't go and just do the things for yourself. This is what happens in Pakistan. Look at Port Qasim, look at Sahiwal, look at Hapko. So many projects being done all over the place. But sirf dikhane ke liye ek school bana diya, koi cheez kar di. This really doesn't work. Billions of dollars are being spent. Just imagine in China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, how much money is being spent, $50 billion. They say it's $50 billion. How much of it is being done for the social upliftment, which is an extremely important part. We need to make these guys, people who are living all around us, our partners. If we are not going to make our partners, and it really doesn't cost money. We are also doing this project. We are doing everything. We are doing, you know, we are saying 10,000 kids and these huge hospitals and livelihood opportunities and all these things. I know how much money it costs, but it is minor. It is in terms of the total project that you look at it, it's a very, very minor sum. But I think not only the corporate guys, but also the government, everybody should get together. And the best thing is in this project, though we are very keen, all of us, whenever we sit down, we talk about Government of Sindh. Government of Sindh has done absolutely wonderful over here. If it was not for Government of Sindh, and it was not for our previous Chief Minister, Syed Qaim Ali Shah, or the current Chief Minister, Murad Ali Shah, probably all this was not possible. So it's the government, it's the big corporates, their social responsibility, the thinking together, only then a community will change and will help develop the country also. Thank you very much, Ji.
Shamsuddin, thank you so much. Corporations taking their social responsibility seriously is still a very rare thing. You ought to be applauded by recognizing the amount of good that business can do in communities and the amount of change that you can drive. But I've been in business meetings, and I know you have too, where there are still the old school business people saying, your responsibility is to the shareholders, not to the people. I've heard that argument held very loudly and very angrily sometimes. So how do you, for people out there who also sit in there saying, I can also do good in my community, but my shareholders won't let me, how do you answer that question?
Well, in my case, personally, one thing which very good that happened with this project was that there are 8 shareholders of this company. There's not one shareholder, and every shareholder has got a very minor share in this company. Somebody has got 12%, 18%. So nobody really, of all these guys, nobody really recognizes this as their company. And the entire onus came on the management to ensure that something is done. So since we were the managers and we were keen to do these type of things, some of the guys are laughing because they know this company very well. So since
they also know that you're very lucky, in a very lucky and unusual position.
Yes. So if I was lucky or my team was lucky and we got into that position, we wanted to make best out of it. And alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, we are going to make best out of it.
Fantastic. That's very inspiring. Thank you. Shamsuddin Shaikh, thank you very much. Thanks once again, Shamsuddin Shaikh.